Retro Gamer, and I know you guys are hyped for this, but we're going to do another top 7 list. And, again, like I said a couple weeks ago when I did the top 7 best Spyro games, this time we're doing the top 7 worst Spyro games. So we're going to go from the 7th worst to the very worst. It's basically just like any other top 7 list. So let's get started. Number 7. The Legend of Spyro New Beginning DS version. So, yeah, this version, I know you basically would be saying, but gamer, isn't it the same game? No, the DS version of this game is nothing like the actual Legend of Spyro. Maybe similar level layouts, but the gameplay is almost like nothing like the actual A New Beginning. So basically, it's a really crappy gameplay, really crappy top-down gameplay, and, it's bad, clunky, stupid. I don't know, it's just mediocre. It's not really terrible, but it's, bad. It's boring, That's really all I could say about it, that it's crappy and it's not very good. So, yeah, let's move on to the next game, then. Number 6. The Legend of Spyro Dawn of the Dragon DS version. As you can see, a lot of these DS versions of games are just really crappy, and, it just shows how bad, certain developers are. So, yeah, this is even worse than A New Beginning. And, you kind of would expect it from crappy developers, outsourcing a game to some random foreign developer. That I'm pretty sure that's probably what they did for Dawn of the Dragon and A New Beginning. The Eternal Night for DS, that's what really makes it bad. The Eternal Night for DS, while it didn't make the top 7 list, I thought it was a pretty good game, actually. I never played it myself, but it was 3D. It had a lot of, classic Spyro-like gameplay, and it played more like classic Spyro than than the actual Legend of Spyro games. So, props to that, but compared to that, this is complete and utter turdness. It's a stupid 2D battle game, and it really just, puts the Spyro name to shame. Let me just say that. It's pretty bad. So, yeah. Number 5. So, even though during the early 2000s, the handheld platforms like the GBA and, Nintendo's handheld consoles really were the best Spyro games of the early 2000s, aside from A Hero's Tale, the later early 2000s, 2006 to 2010, really weren't friendly, as you can see from all these handheld Spyro games. So as you can see, we do have another handheld Spyro game, just to add to the crappiness, and, this time we got Spyro, The Legend of Spyro A New Beginning, the GBA version. So, another crappy handheld port. Again, it's almost similar to Dawn of the Dragon with its crappy 2D looks, very bland gameplay, more bland than the Legend of Spyro games. I'll do a review of them, actually, because I have some opinions on. They're not bad, but, they're bland. This is actually legitimately bad. It's a crappy 2D platform. All you do is just punch enemies and fight enemies. It really doesn't have any actual gameplay. And it's just boring, and boring games are bad, obviously. You don't really do much except for go through the same bland levels fighting bland enemies constantly. The gameplay you're seeing right now is through the whole game. So, yeah, there you go. That's all the gameplay except for really crappy top-down flying sections. And number 4. Look where we are again. Another crappy handheld Spyro game. This time, it's Shadow Legacy, another piece of crap handheld Spyro game that's pretty stupid. And, yeah. It's a lot similar to A New Beginning for the DS, and I think that's what inspired it. But, I don't know, it's hard to say. I actually think it's a bit worse than it, though. And a lot of the same elements from A New Beginning for the DS, but I think executed much worse on this version. And that's why it's number 4. That's really all I have to say for it. And number 3. Spyro Orange, The Cortex Conspiracy. So if you guys don't remember my top 7 worst Crash Bandicoot games, I had Crash Purple as that was in the top 7 worst Crash games. But as you can see, it was a bit higher up than Spyro Orange was. And that's for a good reason. Crash Purple was kind of crappy, but at least it wasn't terrible or anything. This game is complete crap. At the very least, Crash's gameplay in the hub worlds had all of Crash's moves. You know, like his jumps, his, you know, his slides. Basically, he had all the moves that Crash from the GBA version did. You know, like the Huge Adventure and Trance. Spyro, on the other hand, the only moves he has is Flame Breath and his one jump. He can't glide and he can't charge. Those are like 2 out of 3 of his main moves. If you don't have 2 out of 3 of the character's main moves, like, where's the freaking classic gameplay? All he could do is flame. He can't even charge in this game. He can't glide and he can't charge. That is freaking bullshit. And adding also is that the mini games in this game are much more crappier than they are in Crash Purple. And this game is like a real turd, so, yeah. Number 2. Spyro Enter the Dragonfly. You guys knew that this game would be up there. So, at the very least, the games before this game were at least playable. This game is a laggy, buggy mess. It's glitchy. Everything is glitchy. Everywhere you go, there's some sort of glitch. I tried to play this before, but it was so hard and so broken, so laggy. So terrible. This is, like, it's a crime to humanity how bad it actually is, you know? And a lot of it doesn't even make sense. I mean, if you guys really want to see how bad it is and get an in-depth look, just look at my Enter the Dragonfly review that I did, like, I think a year ago. But that would describe it better than the way I'm describing it here. The best description I can give you on this top 7 list is that it's a big turd, it really sucks, buggy, glitchy mess everywhere, and yeah, just please don't play it. For the love of all that is good in this world, please don't play it. Seriously. So, I know what y'all might be thinking. Gamer, there can't be anything that's worse than Enter the Dragonfly. What game could possibly be worse than that? Well, I'll tell you. It's a really bad game, and I'm going to show you in a minute. It's even worse than Enter the Dragonfly. And probably nobody, aside from really hardcore Spyro fans like me, would know. So, yeah, let me show you guys number 1. Number 1! So, this game would be considered lost, so the only footage I could find from it was a Squared-Eyed Jack review. And, you know, I don't feel like having to show his face, because, you know, copyright. So I'm just going to show you guys this image while I talk about it, because I'm going to save you guys the mercy of seeing the actual gameplay. So, a lot of people called this game Spyro XN. It's actually Spyro. And basically, it's really stupid. Basically, Spyro just goes around, collects cakes for fairies, and puts them in the fire, and yeah, that's it. That's the whole freaking game. Nothing else. That's it. It's the dumbest preference ever, and it's done in every level. They don't even have every level found. Just imagine how crappy it could have actually been. But the game did release at one point, and at least 9 levels from the actual game have been publicly released. That's why Squared-Eyed Jack reviewed it. And, yeah, it was complete crap. And that's probably why nobody archived it until recently, which makes a lot of sense. So, yeah, I think it was better that this game was left in the scrap and never released to the public. But what can you do? Well, I hope you guys enjoyed my top 7 worst Spyro games list. If you guys have any recommendations for, you know, just any other top 7 list, any recommendations, I'll do one. You know, whatever you guys want. A lot of them I've been doing for myself. A lot of top 10 best or top 10 worst. You know, I'll do anything. Top 7 best Ratchet and Clank weapons. And I'm rambling on, so I'm going to end it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'm out. Peace. Give me some submissions if you want to see top 7 list, for real.